Is match point for Li. 2019. Oh yes, not giving up by any stretch of the imagination, Tai. Competing with everything she has to try and force a deciding game. Li can't believe she's let it slip, but it's all square at 20. Drama of the highest order here in a women's singles semi-final.
There are lots of opportunities in the sport of boxing.
Match point Li once again. She realizes what a big point that was. And so does Tai. She's going to have to dig deep once more. Match point for the second time. And she's done it again. Refusing to yield. Tai Ying got in position and created the angle that was beyond the reach of the extended racket of Li. So she tied it up to save match point at 20. She's done the same thing to make it 21 all. 2 match points saved. And Tai now earned her first match point. And she's done so. It is game point for Tai. After Li squandered 2 match points. So Tai can't convert the game point, and it's Li who squares it up at 22 all. So second game point for Tai. Brilliant shot. And it's beyond the outstretched racket of Tai. Incredible accuracy. Tai perhaps hoping it was going to drift wide. So we are tied at 23. Li has had 2 match points. Tai has had 2 game points. And it's match point for the 3rd time for the number 1 seed. Can Tai dig deep and extend this game further, indeed extend her tournament? And for the 3rd time, she has saved match point. 3 of them Li has let slip. Coach knows how precious those are, how hard they are to come by, and how the other player can get inspiration and momentum if the player in position to take the match point doesn't do so. Tied at 24. And it's game point for the 3rd time for Li. For Tai. Now can she capitalize?
Gold's up for grabs. The race for the
opportunity to force a deciding game. And she has done so. What a fight back. Tai Ying takes the second game 26-24. A terrific fight back, saving 3 match points. And we are going into a deciding game. It is all square at 1 game all. in the women's singles semi-final. Well, that's just the second time in this, the 9th meeting, that TAI has taken a game from the reigning Olympic champion. So that must be a huge boost to her spirits and her confidence, especially considering the manner in which she did it. 3 times the #1 seed had match points. TAI converted her 3rd game point opportunity. But the resilience and resolve and competitive spirit on display from TAI really are admirable. And the momentum has shifted in her favor. How decisive will that momentum shift be? Got a supreme champion on the other side of the net. And she'll want nothing less than to fulfill her quest to achieve Asian Games gold. Came away with less than she wanted last time out, Lee. And how she would love to correct that here.
Final game. Double. Play.
So final game.
Service over. 1 love. Love. Love.
But it's a bright start for Lee in this deciding game. What a point, and it's in.
Service over. 1-3.
So TAI doing a good job of arresting the momentum that Lee built up during this deciding game. Wouldn't have wanted that lead to get too much bigger. She remains within touching distance, 1-3.
Service over. 4-1. Service over. 2-4.
Lengthy rally, and it's landed in. Comfortably so in the end. Lee watched it, no doubt thinking it was going long. And this deciding game, every bit as compelling and competitive as the second.
Service over. 5-3.
This time it's TAI who can only watch as the shuttlecock lands in bounds. So it remains as tight as can possibly be in this deciding game. It's a terrific overhead.
Service over 7-4.
That will go down as an unforced error from TAI. Motion coming to the fore now. Big moments in this deciding game. 8-4 lead. Oh, that is fantastic. From corner to corner. Bisecting the court in diagonal fashion. The really accurate overhead. Well, Lee just building up the momentum now. She's put together a run of unanswered points. A 6-point cushion in a game at this stage is a significant one. Well, in that second game, TAI scratched and clawed and hung tough and eventually came out on top 26-24. She's trailing by 5 points here. But at the interval, it is Lee who leads by 6. Her overheads really have been emphatic in this third game in particular. Frustration for TAI. And remember, it's a place in the women's gold medal game that awaits the victor. It's been brilliant badminton so far here at the Gaiyang in this women's singles semi-final. What's being said at this stage of the match? Is it tactics? Is it inspiration? Is it instruction? Perhaps all three. Lee knows what to do. Said that she strives for excellence in everything that she does, and that's how she defines success. And her play, her level of play has been excellent to this point in a deciding game. She's leading 11-5. The players emerge from the interval. TAI is going to have to demonstrate more of the resilience she demonstrated in the second game. Well, TAI scurrying all over the court, but the placement and positioning of Lee was superior on that particular point. Look at the manner in which she puts TAI on the run. That's an excellent retrieval. But Lee was in position, created all kinds of time for herself, but look at that for a recovery. Sprawled out on all fours, even got back to her feet to try and get the next one. But Lee made no mistake with the open court that she had to work with. 12-5. And now that's 13. 8-point margin in favor of the number 1 seed. Lee just talking through with herself and her coach and perhaps anybody in the vicinity of what she wanted to do with that particular point. It's tied to serve, 6-13. She's played that shot particularly well during the course of this deciding game. Well, the line is in. It most certainly bisected it. And closer towards a place in the gold medal game now, Lee. Because the lead is 10. And despite the dogged determination that TAI has demonstrated in this semi-final, this may be even too much to make up for her. Misjudged that one. But TAI not giving in. She won't be focusing on the 10-point deficit she's facing, just 1 point at a time. That'll surely be her mindset. Chip away, chip away, chip away. Hoping that the drift would carry that shuttlecock beyond the baseline. Much to her chagrin, it's landed in. 2 points away from victory now, Lee. And again. So it's match point for the #1 seed. 1 point away from a place in the final. Holds her head in anguish because she wanted to close it out on her own serve. So TAI has got it back. She's trailing by 12. Still match point. And there's the celebration. The #1 seed exchanging a handshake at the net with the opponent she has just defeated. But TAI Su Ying deserves immense credit for playing her part in a brilliant badminton match. But in the final analysis, it is the #1 seed, the world ranked #1 and reigning Olympic champion, who has won 2 games to 1. 21-16, 24-26, 21-8. The anticipation in the eyes of watching that shuttlecock all the way out of court. And that was a moment of victory, met with a celebratory roar. Because what it means is that the #1 seed has booked her place in the women's singles final. Li of China will contest for Asian Games gold, having beaten TAI of Chinese Taipei 2-1, 21-16, 24-26, 21-8.